Hello and welcome back to Football Match Daily. Today we're here for episode 4 of a trip to Europe, and we're joined by Chinmay, who must be overjoyed from the round of 16 result. Aayush and I, not so much. Uh, but either way, we're here. We're going to review the round of 16 games and, of course, give our predictions for the quarterfinal results too. So let's just get started without any further ado. Moving on, we will predict our scores for the quarterfinals, the 8 teams that have made it through. And we start the first game with quite an interesting one. Two teams that came on from the high scoring day that we saw. Spain scored 5 in the round of 16, Switzerland scored 3. But Switzerland, obviously, the more confident side, overthrowing the likes of France out of the quarterfinals. So Mm, it's a tough one to call because you just don't know with Spain. But knowing the morale at the Switzerland camp at the moment, I would go for a Switzerland win. I'd predict 2-0 to Switzerland. I'm sorry, I predict 2-1 to Switzerland. I don't see them keeping a clean sheet.
Come on, Videep. I thought I was going to be the one who would say that Switzerland going to win it, but okay. I think this game will go into extra time. It will be a 2-all game, and then Switzerland will score a winner in the extra time. So a 3-2 win for Switzerland.
I think this game is all in Spain's hand. I think Switzerland has been good so far. Obviously, they caused a big upset, but they've been a bit lucky as well. So I think Spain set them up properly. So I think they can easily win this one. I'll go with 3-0 Spain.
Switzerland 3-2.
It's the
Okay,
same
so
score as Ayush then. So you said 3-2 in extra time or just in the 90?
90 3-2.
That's. I mean, I would argue with Ayush that Switzerland get a goal in extra time because
Yeah.
I think Spain are a very solid team to play against in extra time, and if it goes into extra time, then probably Spain win. But in the 90, I'd go for Switzerland.
So if
Um,
you go for Switzerland in the 90, there's no extra time.
I was just countering Ayush's point. That's all.
Oh,
calm
okay.
down.
Second quarterfinal game is, I think, the biggest quarterfinal game. It's Belgium versus Italy. I think the winner of this game goes into the finals, debatably. But yeah, it's a Belgium versus Italy game. Unfortunately for Belgium fans, both Eden Hazard and Kevin De Bruyne missed this game. Eden Hazard was, I think he ran the most distance against Portugal. So I think he'll be missed. He won the most fouls, and you don't really have to say what De Bruyne brings to the team. So that's the reason I'd go for an Italy win. Maybe not in the 90 because I see Romelu Lukaku getting a goal. So 1-0 in the 90, 3-1 after 120 for Italy. Chinmay.
I think Italy, Lukaku needs to step up again. Mertens needs to step up now to fill in the place of Kevin De Bruyne. But I just don't think that the merchants, I would say, the Italian merchants don't give up now because they really are workhorses. They work their socks off. They really just go with the flow. And I think Italy win this one for me. I will say I'll go with the safe one. I'll go with 2-0.
Like you obviously said, Videep, De Bruyne and I think Hazard are both out for this game, but I still feel Belgium might be able to edge Italy in this one. I hope Lukaku can pull off something special yet again for Belgium and obviously all the other players as well. So I feel it will be a close one, but I still feel Belgium might win 2-1.
Yeah, I am going to side with Sid here and say Belgium is going to win with 2-1. Okay, it was a good run, Italy, but I think it's time to go now. Chinmay, the world number one will win here, in my opinion.
They might. Cool. I listen. I have nothing against Belgium. You've made it sound again and again that I have something against Belgium. Let them win. I don't think Belgium wins the tournament because um, I don't think they have that mentality in them. If they do win the tournament, I've said this before too, I will be one of the happiest because they possess some of my favorite players. But I just don't think they haven't. And imagine Roberto Martinez holding up a trophy. I mean, it just doesn't fit right. It just doesn't fit right. So, man won it with Wigan, but
It's
let's see
like
if he can
seeing
do it with
Harry
Chelsea.
Kane with a trophy, right?
Yeah, exactly. It is. It's going to be as surprising. Imagine Harry Kane holding a trophy. Imagine Roberto Mario. It's just not happening. My eyes just don't see it. So I just don't think that Belgium actually can win it. They do have some winners on the pitch. I hope I predict for Italy win. If they win this game, kudos to them. But then they play Spain or Switzerland. So I just don't see that happening.
I swear to God, I want Belgium to win so bad now.
Third quarterfinal, Czech Republic versus Denmark. I think the Czech have now replaced the Turkey as the dark horses of the tournament at this point because the Czechs have proved everyone wrong. Because beating Netherlands maybe is not an easy task. Maybe under Frank de Boer it's slightly easier, but either way, kudos to them. But what a game by Czech Republic! What a game by Denmark! And I'd go for Denmark because yes, Czech Republic do have the chic power, but Denmark have that team strength. They maybe don't have the strongest individuals, but even when you could see that last game, Yusuf Poulsen was out, I think because of an injury, but Dolberg just came in like he was always part of the 11. So I'd go for a Denmark win. Uh, I see this as a high scoring one, 3-2 probably.
Uh, both of these teams have had such a good run and overperformed their expectation. I'm so disappointed to know that one of them has to leave now. I think that team would be Czech. Denmark will win this tournament and go on to the semis. It will be a 2-1 win for Denmark for me.
I think Denmark were the dark horses for me before the tournament, and they still will be. So, and I really want them to win, obviously. So I'll go. I think this will be a close game. I'll go for a 2-1 for Denmark.
I wanted Denmark to do well before the tournament started. I predicted that they will top the group, even though they had Belgium in it. And I think Denmark have been great. Actually, I would say one of the best teams this tournament, of especially after what happened to their star man. Having said that, I think I'm not going to go for a winner here. I'm going to tell you that because it's going to be a very attacking game. That's what I think. Because both these teams actually look at this game as a big advantage to go into the semis. I can't predict a winner. All I can say is that it is going to be a high scoring thriller. That's what I can say.
You could go for a Czech win. I mean, maybe
Maybe
if things go wrong
I
for the
could,
three
but
of us,
I'm telling
you
you that it's going to be a high scoring thriller. That's only, and even if it's not, at least it's going to be something like 20 shots and 20 shots on both sides or something like that. Because it's even if they are clinical or not, if they have something to show for the goals column, I can tell you it is going to be a very creative game, a very attacking game, very fast game. Because as I'm saying, both these teams know that they can win this one match and go to the Euros semi-final. So it is they have a chance to win against the other and to prove the world wrong.
that brings us to the final game of the quarterfinal, which is Ukraine versus England. I think Chinmay would be looking at this like an easy win,
No,
maybe
not
a
at all, not at all, and
oh
not an
really?
easy win. No, uh, we've beaten Germany. Let's go, England. Let's go. But it's a European Championship. No game is an easy game. Um, you can't possibly look at Ukraine and say that oh, we're going to win this game easily because look what happened to France, look what happened to Netherlands, look what happens when you underestimate the opponent, right? And they're here for a reason, Ukraine. And I saw the game yesterday, and I do feel a little bit scared because they play fast football, crossing in from the box. So I think Maguire, Stones, they're going to they're going to have a lot of problem, and they're going to be they need to be on the top of the games. I hope England wins. I'm saying the word hope because I just hope it can come home this year. But let's just hope that England does not face the issues the other top teams have faced, and they can go on. I hope with a 2-1 victory.
I mean, as much as I would love for Ukraine to cause an upset in the quarterfinals, especially against England, I don't think that would be happening here because they played with a lot of heart and passion in the last game. We saw that, but they picked up quite a few injuries in the extra time, and quality-wise, I think they just don't match England. So I'll go for a England win. I think this should be pretty easy, and
I
even the semi-finals for England should be easy. So I expect them to be in the finals, a team like England. I'll go for a 2-0 win for England.
Okay, I still can't digest that England will win the Euros. As Chinmay so rightly said, it would be weird to see Harry Kane lifting a trophy. But I will give them this game. However, I don't think they can keep a clean sheet here. So 2-1, 2-1 for England.
Uh,
I want to say just one thing here, just one thing. I don't know if you have noticed this or not, but this is going to be the first and the only game England play outside of England if they do go on. This is going to be the first and only game they play outside England if they do go on. Yeah, so this might just have a big factor
yeah,
because
it could be a
you
very big disadvantage for England. They've played all three games.
and this is an away leg. So the home fans, I think they get 60 or 65%, if I'm not wrong. So there are going to be 60% of Ukrainian fans shouting their names and booing the England players. Something which England fans did yesterday with Germany. I don't know how England will react to that. And one more thing with this is Ukraine played 120 minutes yesterday, and England played 90. So I think that too has an advantage on Ukraine then. That has an advantage on Ukraine because they played 30 more minutes of dying football where they had to win or they had to lose and go out. So I think that also has an advantage for England now. That's an advantage because they know that they will have some better rest than Ukraine have had.
Maybe before Chinmay pointed out that England play their game away from Wembley, I'd go for an easy England win. But now, probably 0-all in the 90, 1-0, 120. England go through. I don't see England making the finals, but this is not the game they go out. So 1-0 England, but in the 120.
FYI, before we end this whole thing, there is only one team which hasn't conceded a goal so far in the
That's
tournament.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is
That's
very true.
England.
Yeah.
And you might see a lot of stuff about attack or whatever, keeping clean sheets in 4 consecutive games. That too against the likes of Czech Republic, Croatia, Scotland, who've also scored a couple of goals, and Germany, who have a power-packed attack. Some credit needs to be given to the
That's the
England
only
defenders.
reason I go for a 0-all in the 90 because I don't see
It's true.
England conceding, but I don't see England scoring either because they
Yeah.
haven't been the most clinical side.